Hello YouTubers, today we have a 03 Bullseye and I have Animal Trapper 0428 with me today, and we're going to talk about 9mm military crimps, why they are a pain in the butt, what we can do to get rid of them. Normally I would just take the brass that we have and I would just run it straight through on the Dillon 550 and punch them out just as fast as we can. Typically I can do about 500 rounds in an hour. That's if my primer tubes are already loaded. However, because these have a military crimp, we cannot just run it through the blue machine. So the Dillon will not work with a military crimp, so we have to actually go through and deprime them separately on a single stage press, and then once they are deprimed we have to either run it through a Dillon super swage, which takes the military crimp, it widens it out so that the primer will go in there without any problem. I don't know if you can see that there or not. Let's see. Don't know if we can get a good clean shot of that. However, if you don't use the Dillon Super Swage 500, then you can use any Carpenter's countersink drill bit. This is I think a 45 degree. You can use a 60 degree. You put this in a drill press of some sort or your own hand drill. I typically just put it in a drill press straight up, have it going half speed, and just take these one at a time and stick into it just for a couple of seconds and so forth. Anyhow, also with this military brass, this is head stamped Winchester Cartridge Company 97. These also, about 1 in every 20 has the primer tip pop out of it, but it will not take out the sidewalls. Once that happens, it's completely useless. It cannot be used, and then at that point it just goes straight to the trash can. So if it pops out the center and doesn't take out the sides, it's useless. And I just hate military brass altogether. I hate it. This is a pain in the butt. It takes extra steps. You can see I've got a few 50 cal cans full of brass yet to do. And if it was just commercial brass, again, I would put it straight into the Dillon 550 and rock and roll, be done with it, 500 in an hour, whereas now I'm having to go single stage, one by one by one by one, and then popping out the primers, and then chamfering, cutting with the 45 degree countersink bit, or super swaging on the Super Swage 600, which I really do not like. I dislike that machine. Some people like it. It's just my opinion, and I'll show you. You can move through some of these fairly quickly, but you know, it's still an extra step that you got to go through. You have to look at each one of them to make certain that it's taking the whole primer out, not just the edges. But you can still get through several hundred, but it takes a little bit of time on a single stage press. Once you get a rhythm going, it's not too bad. The chamfering or the cutting of the rim for the primer to go in is the worst part. Anyhow, I will never again utilize military brass, NATO brass, once it is used up, but all of this came from Quantico a few years back, and I've got many thousands of rounds of it. I hate to throw it away. I don't want to waste it. So anyhow, that's pretty much all we have. This is 03 Bullseye and Animal Trapper 0428 signing off.